Hello dear students, welcome to DAV Moyle Public School. I hope you are doing great with the chapter of human eye. This is the second video of this chapter. Previously we have studied about human eye, its construction and working. In this video we will be studying some more parameters related to human eye. So without wasting any time, let's proceed. Now, as you can see in this picture, this person is trying to see a far object. So the question arises, hold on for a second, how far he can see. So for a normal human being, if I suppose this person is a normal human being and he is trying to see the celestial object like sun, he is trying to see. So this person, since he is a normal human being, can see the celestial object like sun very clearly, and it's the far point vision of a normal human being is infinite. Since the person is able to see the image of celestial body like sun clearly, which means clearly in the sense he is not seeing that sun, the image of sun blur. If the person is seeing the image of a far object blur, which means he is suffering from defect, which means he cannot see far object clearly. So in short, if a person who is able to see far object clearly without any blur in his eyes, in his or her eyes, which means his or her far point vision is absolutely fine. So in short, the far point of vision of a normal human being is an infinite. The similar thing, the near point vision of a normal human being is always and always 25 centimeter. As you can see, again, if I consider this person as a normal human being and he is trying to read this textbook from a distance of say 25 centimeter, which means this person will see the image, whatever is written in the textbook, very clearly and efficiently. Why is it so? Because the normal eye of a human being is, a near point vision of a normal human being is 25 centimeter. And if suppose this person has shortened the distance between eyes and book, at certain point of time he will not see the image or whatever is written in the textbook clearly. He will see blur image. In short, if I reduce the distance of 25 centimeter, let's say to suppose 12 centimeter, which means the person will not be able to see clearly, or he or she will see blur image whatever he or she is seeing. So in short, the near point vision of a normal human being is always and always 25 centimeter. Now the third thing, that is least point of a distinct vision. So the minimum, what exactly least point means? It is the minimum distance up to which an eye can see clearly without any strain. If a person can see far object as well as near object clearly without any strain or any sort of pressure in his or her eyes, which means his least point vision of a vision is absolutely fine. In short, least point vision of a normal human being is always 25 centimeter, as the word itself speaks. Least point of a distinct vision is always 25 centimeter. You can even add on the range of a normal human being, that is how far and how short distance a human can see clearly. That is the furthest point, that is 25 furthest point in which human being can see clearly, that is infinite, whereas near point is 25 centimeter. So range of vision, which means for a normal human being, range of a vision lies between 25 centimeter to infinity. So that is the range of a normal human being. Now, what do you mean by power of accommodation? The power of accommodation basically means the focal length. As we have studied previously, human eye look like this. It consists of a lens which is known as biconvex lens. Bi means it has two reflecting surface, or rather refracting surface. Whenever ray of light travels and it changes its focal length. Since always remember the distance between eye lens and this eyeball structure, which is nothing, this distance is always and always fixed. As we have studied previously, here a retina is there. So image, the distance between lens and retina is always and always fixed, which means the image point of a normal human being is always fixed. The distance between lens and image, this is the lens and this is the image formation So this image formation is nothing but a retina. So this length is always and always fixed for a normal human being. Since this length is fixed, which means the image point between length is fixed. So in order to see far point as well as near point, I need to change something. So that something is nothing but a focal length, or I have to change my lens. So this lens doesn't change automatically. Your muscles are there. These muscles are nothing but a ciliary muscles. These ciliary muscles contract and relax depending upon what we are seeing. So what we are seeing, if we are seeing far object, this ciliary muscles behave differently, and if we are seeing near object, again this ciliary muscles behave differently, and lens accordingly, this lens contract and relax. So this is the power of accommodation. So what exactly power of accommodation means? It is the property due to which eye lens is able to change the focal length. Eye lens is able to change the focal length with the help of ciliary muscles. So this is the power of accommodation. For a normal eye, distance between the eye lens and retina is fixed, whatever I have told, but focal length changes. Now accommodation of far object. The far object, as we have studied, we can see far object as well as near object. Now if we consider this snapshot image of a far point object of a normal human being, so the accommodation of far point object looks like this. So whenever a person is viewing an infinite or an object which is at extremely far distance, his or her human eye will look like this. So whenever rays of light are coming from an infinite distance, since the rays are coming from an infinite distance, it will converge at one particular point, that is known as retina. Now whenever far object is there, so eye lens become thin, this eye lens structure become thin, and ciliary muscles becomes relaxed. Since ciliary muscles become relaxed, so the lens gets elaborated and becomes thin. So for a far point vision, the ciliary muscles become relaxed and eye lens become thin, as a result of which the images always form on retina. If this wasn't the case, then the image would not be formed on retina. So since this is happening, so the far point vision, the person can see far object clearly. Now with the similar thing, near point vision is also there. If a person for an instant is seeing or reading a textbook which is residing somewhere around 25 centimeter, so the ray of light will look like this, will go in this direction. Since the person is viewing near vision, which is approximately 25 centimeter or near about 25 centimeter, so in that circumstances, the ciliary muscles will be contracted and eye lens become thick. As you can see, the nature of this eye lens, human eye lens, becomes thick. Again, since this is happening, again the images form on retina. Since this distance is always fixed, so the image is again formed on retina. But here, since the person is viewing near object, eye lens has become thick, and ciliary muscles has become contracted. Now, as I was telling previously, so the range of vision of a normal human being is an infinite to about 25 centimeter. The farthest point, that is infinite, and the nearest point is 25 centimeter. So the range of a normal human being is this. Now, persistence of vision. What exactly do you mean by persistence of vision? Persistence of vision is nothing but whatever we are seeing in nature, that it doesn't immediately get fade. It lasts for a few seconds. That is a persistence of vision. So what is this? The ability of the eye to retain its image for about 1/16th of a second, which means 0.016 of a second. That image will last in your mind. So that is persistence of vision. For an instant, imagine you are seeing a whiteboard or a green board, and something is written in green board, and if you close your eyes, that image will last for 1/16 in your mind, and after that it will get fade. That is persistence of vision of normal human being. For again another example, for an instant, if you are watching TV and suddenly you close your eyes, whatever you have seen or whatever you have seen in that TV, that image will retain for 1/16 of a second in your mind. So since we have this sort of vision, so the motion pictures plays a tricks with our mind. So what exactly they does, they capture still image. As you can see, the still images is there. This horse riding is person is horse riding images are there, different horse riding position. And what does motion, the person who makes videos and all, what does they simply take picture or take snapshot of different positions of any particular thing, and they play with a time duration of 1/24 of a second. Since we can see 1/16 of a second, but they play 1/24 of a second. Since they are the time duration has become relatively very small now, because of which we have a strong perception that an object is moving. This object in reality is not moving, but since this picture have been played 1/24 of a second by motion pictures or the person who makes videos, so we, the observer who are viewing, will have a perception that this horse is moving. So this is persistence of vision, as you can see in this picture. Now, what is color vision? So we have studied previously color vision. So color, whatever we are seeing, because whatever image we have, whatever we are seeing, the image is formed on retina. So since retina consists of millions of photoreceptor cells, those cells are known as rods and cones. Rod cells are basically responsible for intensity of light. Intensity means rod cells are even active whenever there is less amount of light. So it completely depends upon intensity of light. Intensity of light means how bright or how less bright a source of light is. That is intensity of light. Similar thing we have another, that sort of thing is that sort of intensity of a light are being judged, or we have a cell which is known as rod cell, from which intensity of light have been distinguished. Now cone shaped are also there. Cone shaped are basically responsible for colors. So whatever we are observing, because we have a special type of cell in our retina, that cell is known as cone shaped cells. But cone shaped cells have a specific disadvantage. Why is it? What disadvantage it has? Because it can be only active whenever there is an extreme amount of a high intensity of light. You can correlate this as whenever there is a black, or whenever there is a shutdown in your room and it is a dark time, you will observe that you will not be able to perceive any colors, but you will be able to see a glimpses of a person or shadows of sort of thing whenever there is a complete dark in your room. But which means at that point of time your rod cells are active and cone cells has completely become inactive. Why is it so? Cone cells are only active in the presence of extreme light. Whenever light is there, then only you can see different colors. And with the help of rod cells, you can even see a glimpses, but you will not be able to see colors. So with the combination of rod cells and cone cells, our color vision have been inculcated into a retina. As you can see over here, structure of retina is there. This elongated portion is known as rod cells. This is one rod cells, another rod cells. Different number of rod cells are present. With the similar thing, the small things, red, blue and green, this is nothing but a cone shaped cells. And these cone shaped cells are basically out of three types, red, blue and green, and they collectively combine together to form n number of colors which we see in our nature. So cone cells basically have three colors, red, blue and green. Rod cells have no colors. So the cells look like this. As the word itself speaks, cone. As you can see, this looks like a cone, whereas a rod, it looks like a rod. Cone cells are responsible for colors. Now, color perceptions of different animals. Since majority of the human living creatures can see nature, because they have cells, different cells. So some of them have rod cells, some of them have cone cells, some have less cone cells also. So one perfect example that is bee. being have one extra cone cells. Humans, human beings, cone cells can only distinguish only till violet color, but bees, that is honeybee, can even distinguish one color beyond violet color. That color is known as ultraviolet color. So ultraviolet color is being observed by honeybee rather, in which human being cannot see. Human being can only identify max to max violet color. Beyond violet color, human being cannot identify because human being are ultravioletly blind, but honeybee are not. They can see ultraviolet color also. Another example of color perceptions of different animals are chickens. Chickens have less amount of cone shaped cells. They have more amount of rod shaped cells and less amount of cone shaped cells. Because of this reason, they are not able to see during night times. They can see during daytime properly with normal different color distinguishing. Again, a wrong perception is there that chicken cannot distinguish between color. No, chicken can distinguish. Chicken or hen can distinguish color during daytime. Whenever bright light is there, they can see different colors, whatever we are also seeing. But they will not be able to see colors during night time. They will not see colors because they have relatively less amount of cone shaped cells and more amount of rod shaped cells. Since more amount of rod shaped cells are there, so during night time the cone cells completely become less active and they find it difficult to see the surrounding, and they will not be able to see that effectively during night time. So this is an example of color perceptions of hens or chicken. I hope you have understood the concept. Thank you and have a nice day.